When I first came into 20th Century Fox, it's very entrepreneurial. I was excited to be there. The first day I came in, the CEO of the studio came up to me, gave me a big hug and said, "You're the CFO, you can do anything, get involved in any project you want, you can go to any meeting you want, you don't need to ask permission. You're one of us, you're part of the leadership team," which was really refreshing for me, that a CFO, a head of finance, was actually being embraced to that degree. What I saw were a number of division presidents that were incredibly passionate about their businesses, really smart. People would roll up their sleeves and work together to solve problems. But what I didn't see was leadership development. I didn't see people being developed so that they could lead teams and get results through their teams, through people, as opposed to their own individual performance. I came in right after 9/11, and the training budget had been cut to zero. So I went to the HR department and I convinced them that we should bring somebody in to do some leadership training and development, and we did some of that with the senior management team initially. We actually did 3 1.5-day workshops with the senior management team and created a much greater level of mutual trust and respect amongst the leadership team. At one point, I decided what I needed to do was build my own bench in finance. And it started very informally. I took people from different areas of finance. We had finance teams in each one of the divisions. And I brought them in, a person from some of those divisions. I think we started with 5 or 6 people in the first program. I call it a program. All I really did was say, come to breakfast every Tuesday, spend an hour with me and let's talk. We talked about life, what was happening with them personally in their lives, what was happening in my life, what was happening with the company, what strategies we were doing at the company, what the competition was like out there and how we were addressing it, to start to give those people a broader perspective of the company as a whole and to develop a stronger relationship with me so we had a connection. We gave them a project during the program where we gave them something simple, relatively simple. We said, find a way, we don't care where, to save $5 million for the company. And we were a $6 billion revenue company, so $5 million wasn't such an exorbitant amount that it would be impossible for them to find. They came up with some interesting ideas, how to retain people more effectively. Again, really with a finance focus when we first started because that's who it was in the program. After 3 cycles of that, HR came to me and said, you know, it's not fair that you're just doing this program for finance. You need to do this for the whole studio. That was a little concerning for me because I felt comfortable having my own team in this program. I thought that when I did those programs, when I did those exercises for people in some of the other divisions, I might have division presidents coming back to me saying, what are you doing with my people? And I didn't really want to have to explain myself because in these programs, there's a level of trust and respect that's developed. And when you do an experiential exercise, all of a sudden, if you're looking at that from the outside in, you might think that that's completely inappropriate that you're doing that exercise. But people in the program feel comfortable being in these exercises and giving and receiving feedback or evaluating each other's performance in a way that is much more direct, some might say confrontational, but much more direct than what they are normally doing within their own business ranks. So I didn't want to have to be concerned about division presidents thinking that I was dealing with their people inappropriately. Ultimately, we did launch round 4 across the entire studio. We created more formal activities in it, a much more structured curriculum with these exercises in them. And that program we ran for about 8 cycles across the whole studio over, including the finance ones, probably over about a 15-year period. So lots of really smart people, great people to work with. And once we started developing the leadership skills, I found that people were working more openly and collaboratively with each other, and we were actually going after bigger goals than we had before. It became apparent to me that I had a passion for personnel development, human development. It actually was something that I had in my personal life early on when I did a personal growth self-awareness training exercise. And I didn't realize until the LP program really how much from that I could incorporate into developing people in a business environment. And once I did that, I realized that I can grow through every one of those programs just as much as everybody else. I really encourage people inside the programs to take accountability and responsibility for each other, and I tell them all the time, make this program yours. Every one of them is unique. But the truth is, programs will get stuck. They'll have moments in time where they're just not moving forward in terms of their own growth as a whole. And it gives me an opportunity to look inside and reflect and ask myself, what do I need to do differently? So I'm growing at the same time because I'm thinking, how do I need to adjust my behavior? How do I need to inspire them to step up and lead? And I get growth through that. So the transformation for me really became more about getting results through people, through my coaching style, and having that take, not priority, but that became more of a passion for me than actually creating individual results myself. So I believe it's through the ALP program where I made the shift in how I manage teams overall.